Hey guys, how's it going? It's April 23rd, 2018, and wow, I'm on a lot earlier than I expected. So, yeah, I guess a long story short, or, yeah, might as well tell the story first. As I was saying last night, and the funny thing was, I was thinking about this today too, about being, how would you say, it's dangerous, I think, for a parent, especially a single parent like myself, to get too, I wouldn't say dependent on your child, but too, how would you say, not attached. I don't know what the word is. I was thinking about it today a little bit, and I realized that tonight was supposed to be, I was hoping, and I was actually looking forward to this more so than I was even looking forward to last night, which is kind of interesting, but that's just because he's my son and he's priority number one. And it was something new and something interesting. And don't get me wrong, I had fun last night. Actually, a lot of fun. But I had mentioned that we were going to be playing online pool or something like that. Now, I have no control of what goes on at his place. Just like, you know, my ex has no control of what goes on here. Although she likes to, state her opinion quite a bit. But anyways, I try to take that with a grain of salt as much as I can. I'll take it in consideration, but I'm not changing anything. I'm not even gonna get into this on YouTube. Put it this way. But bottom line was, we were supposed to be playing some online pool tonight. At least that was the plan as of yesterday. And I was either he forgot or something changed or whatever. I told him. I said, call me. I said, call me when you're on. I even went on for a little bit just to see if he was going to find me, knock on the, basically knock with the friend request and all that other crap. Because I actually spent I was going to call him up. I figured, the hell with it. It's not my night with him, so it's not a big deal. But I was going to call him out. I was like, forget it. He probably forgot, or something else is going on, or the weather was really nice today, or maybe he had some other plans. I don't know. But anyways, who knows? So I managed to get my taxes done while I was waiting, which was cool. So that's a good thing. Bad thing, speaking of child, is my support payments more than doubled. And what it is based on your minimum tax, or your taxes, because my taxes doubled, I should say. It's kind of interesting. My return was half of what it was last year, approximately. I got like RRSP. That was the only reason why I got it. Otherwise, I would have broke even. But I got RRSP stuff that went through, so that I managed to get half of it back. So this was the first time going into a registered retirement savings plan. And then what else was going on? So that helped. But then whatever rebates that I do get, which is few and far between with provincial, like supposedly it's supposed to help low income families or whatever. I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be considered low income. In Canada, $30,000 to me is low income. But anyways, especially single. But that's where I'm at at this point right now, and I'm just like, what the hell? I looked at I'm thinking to myself, okay, my support payments are going to go up. I knew that was happening, because this was last year was my first full-time year back in a few years. So it had been a while. I forgot how much support payments were high the years that I totally was full time, but this time around, oh my, yeah, that just killed me. I'm thinking to myself, man, I just got rid of cable TV. And no, I got rid of cable TV last year. I got rid of, I don't know. I've been trying to cut as much as I can. I mean, we don't take as many trips. And then wham, so much for that. So that's like, Jesus, Murphy. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I got a year and my car will be paid off, so that'll be the big one, really. I mean, in retrospect, I mean, the support payment, it's okay, but put it this way. The increase in my support payment is probably twice as much, almost twice as much. Nah, I shouldn't say that. I can't remember how much I was paying for cable, to be quite honest. But it's damn near, it's more than what I was paying for cable, that's for damn sure. I'm like, dang. And that's just child support. X doesn't get nothing. Not a chance in hell she's getting a cent. Not a chance in hell. And yeah, when we divorced, she said she didn't want anything. She didn't want anything for my son. Didn't want anything. I was like, yeah, okay, then. You know, had I known my, well, let's just say, had I known my rights back then, I probably wouldn't have granted her a divorce either, because she wasn't entitled to it. She would have to have basically, well, she couldn't have proved anything, really. There was a lot of interesting complications that I could have made it very difficult for her, especially when I was the one who wanted counseling and all this other stuff. Now I'm going on about my ex. Jesus, Murphy, I gotta stop this. Especially when my, I keep forgetting that not so much my son. My son don't watch me on YouTube, but my son's friends do. So I gotta be careful of that. So if you're my son's friend, don't repeat anything I said. Shh. I shouldn't be doing that on YouTube anyways. But anyways, I felt like venting. So, since I got very few friends and whatever, or practically no friends, I'm basically a loner. YouTube's my friend. My computer's my friend. It's pretty pathetic. So yeah. So that kind of screwed up my Monday all of a sudden. I was like, wow. But so that was good and bad. At least I'll get the money back for that, but that ain't gonna last long, the rebates. I've already burned through most of that, so I still have, I mean, the good part is I'm not going to be spending as much money on trips and crap like that this year. I had said yesterday that I went out, and yes, I'm going to talk about trains in a minute. I said yesterday I went out with took my son out in the water for the first time. First time I had been out for 3-4 years, but that's going to be the bulk of my trips this year, is going to be taking water trips, day trips. I don't care. I'm not spending money on motels. I mean, that right there cost, wherever I'm staying, $100 a night. If I was to have 14 vacation days, well, there we go. That's that pretty much sells that. So I don't know. I'll find ways of making some money back, but we'll see. I should be writing a book too, but I haven't got around to that. So anyways, let's get moving here, shall we? So the one thing that I had found, actually, let me load up the territory. I'm not going to load up the save file, because what I want to do is I want to add UP. And the reason why I want to do that is because what's happening is Long Branch. I call Long Branch is a station up by where I am. It's a commuter station. Long Beach sends out a lot of trains, but it sends out both BNSF and UP, because I've got them all set up to do that. Whereas the other way, I don't have anything but trains 1 and 21 coming out of Yuma. So I got to add the Yermo subtrains. I got to add the Bakersfield subtrains. I've got to add, I don't know what else. I mean, there's some stuff that goes in. Basically as much as the intermodal as I can. So I got to take a look and see what I do have. So let me just go into the Southwest. I'll go into an extra board here. Yeah, sure. Let me take a look at this. Since I'm over here, because I know some stuff goes into here. This is what makes it. No, stuff does not go into Union Station. What the hell am I talking about? I know there was one I was thinking of, but that ain't it. Oh, LATC, not, yeah. There's something LATC thingamajig or something. Here. Let's go to a real today's time. Reset the system time. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll put daylight savings time in. Perfect. So let's make it look like it is. Well, it's not like it is on the West Coast, but it's how I want it to be. So, yeah, that's what I say. Do these? Oh, of course, it's a run through. Dang it! I was hoping there was a way to terminate it, but yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be running. How far am I from the other terminal? I mean, as tempting as it is, I may be tempted. No, I don't want the hump controller. Put this on. Okay. Well, at least we got the RIP track. Now, we got Yuma Junction, Mission Junction, okay. Oh, wait. We can do it. If we got the RIP track, that pretty much solves, well, it doesn't solve everything, but it solves something. Because I was seeing something about this. Where does that come out of? Oh, aren't you sweet? You just do your little balloon thing and off you go. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, you're a little ways away, but I don't really want to. I really don't want to spend time playing around with a bunch of different yards. Thing is, you know, I don't know. Let me just check something here. Let me go into the traffic generation and see what I do have coming out of the corridor. Oh, I was going to change the corridor around. I remember saying I wanted to do that too. Yes, I did. I don't know what GS is. Oh, and I also have LA. See, right now I got them all coming out of, yeah, it's LC. I'm pretty sure it's LC. Oh, things that make you want to go, Okay, I already got 4 Run8V2 pages up. I might as well make it 5. Let's see what the train symbols say for the West Coast. And we'll go with well, that's not too bad. No, that's just never mind. These are the BNSF ones. Yeah, see, it's already got 3's terminating an LC. See, I don't know where this LA goes. I'm thinking it's East LA. Because that's the other thing too with UP is you got that LC, you got LA. Oh, I can't forget about City of Industry. Jesus, Murphy. Is that true? Holy crap. Okay, so that's not that. Actually, my list looks bigger, which is kind of interesting. But although I don't have City of Industry, I noticed there was a mention of Global 4 that was showing up on the. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so Global 4 shows Illinois, but on this it shows Global 4 goes via the Yuma sub, which didn't make much sense to me. So I'm in the interesting. I'm curious about some of these other ones. Let's go with the BNSF ones for a minute. So Willow Springs is in Illinois. Memphis, okay. Log Park. I thought it was Lincoln Park, but okay, Log Park. I think Lincoln Park's actually in Michigan. Oh, Alliance, Texas. Ah, okay, gotcha. Look at the Long Beach and all the other stuff. LA Harbor. There was another symbol that caught my eye, I should say. But let me see if let me go with the Los Angeles ones. what they have. CSB Chicago. CXB. Okay. What I thought. I thought that was going to be a Chicago one. But it's for CSX, which is interesting. I thought I saw an NS one too. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so they all go to Chicago. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't too sure. Intermodal guaranteed. Intermodal service. High priority intermodal. Okay. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I want to go ahead with all these yards or not, because if I look at this is a little, I mean, this is a cool map, but I'm not 100% sure if some of these SV, as far as I know, is Savage, which would be going up here. I don't know what that is. Sun Valley? Last I heard, SV was Savage Mine, which is different. But anyways, whatever. And Global 4 I thought would be Chicago, unless Global 4 moved somewhere else, or that's just an alternate routing. That's where I wanted to find. I wanted to find what some of these were. Fort Worth, Texas, I see. Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix. I don't know. I have no idea. And San Diego is just San Diego. Different trackage rights. So the way they have it is the way I'm starting to think that is the way I want to do it as well. Originally I thought, yeah, spawning trains out of here, out of here I think it is, wherever the hell it starts after the big one, and then having them spawn in would allow me to do whatever I needed to do, and then have Alhambra sub go this way. But despite the fact that I do like the directional running idea, I guess because I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment and I want to dispatch more. I have no idea, but whatever. I guess I'll use the Alhambra sub. So, you know, it is what it is. Plus, I could easily send stuff off the Taylor yard and pretend, because really, I mean, the more I think about that, do I want to send everything down the Los Angeles sub and make it directional? Well, here's the thing, okay? That was the original thought. When I first started this, I was thinking, yeah, I want to have the directional. So what happens is on the screen, you'll see the where it would show up at Riverside. Now, having a train show up at Riverside doesn't really mean too much, anyways, other than it's another junction. But it's pretty much at the end of the line, anyways. It really doesn't matter. So, no, I have not spawned anything to show up at Streeter. Because, you know, at that point it's just like, okay, it's kind of stupid. Because you're spawning trains in for the sake of spawning trains in just to make traffic there. Which is fine if you want to make traffic, but you really... And I know there's a spawn point for that, which is really bizarre. So we have City of Industry Intermodal. I'm starting to think. Yeah, I gotta start moving these guys here. See, there's that one that would go to Chicago Global too. That came out of Long Beach. The Long Beach ones are fine. So instead of sending it down here, first of all, I gotta make. Yeah, that's the other thing too. If I go right hand running UP, guess what? I can't do it. I just realized that I can't. Because you got one switch that goes there. That corridor is just weird to spawn stuff out of. The issue I was having stuff that came down here. I mean, you can do it left hand. Yeah, I suppose you can do it left hand running here still. Cross it over. Or go both ways, and that way, yeah, maybe I should keep it left hand running. Where was it that I wanted to do it? Right hand. Oh no, I know what it is. It's West Taylor Yard. I was thinking of changing that around. I wanted to change the UP side so that it makes it easier coming into the station. And then if I want to cross, then I can. Although I really wouldn't need to in this case because everything would be coming in. When I bring it over this way, it causes a bit of a pain in the ass because then I have to. There's a reason for it. I can't remember. There was a reason. I forget what the reason is. So I'm looking at the Amtrak notes. The Southwest Chief and Pacific Surfliner run on. And along the West Bank. The West Bank. What the hell's the West Bank? I guess that's... Yeah. Sunset Limit and the Coast. I can't remember what the Coast Starlight runs on. SPRR Coastline. Okay. I'm just reading. I'm just still reading. Sorry, guys. CP Colton is not. Yeah, okay, I know that. Okay, fair enough. I'm actually complex as to what to do in this case. If I should just go ahead and I'm just to me I'm opening a can of you know what by doing it, and I think the original plan was anyways to do directional anyways. So maybe because of that, it's not as required to use Alhambra. If I was really connected, like legitimately connected to the rest of the outside world, which I mean, yeah, okay, I got Yermo. I'm using not Yermo. I got Yuma, and I'm using Yuma to bring in trains number 1 and 21, which makes sense. They wouldn't. Well, yeah, they have to. They have to have these stations, so they have to run that way. So regardless, and I know I say it runs mainly directional, but if I bring in the UP trains, the only ones that are going to go up that way are, I mean, I could send it either way, really. Problem is, do I want to even simulate it? Do I want to just go ahead and pretend the Alhambra sub is the main focus, and we're going to pretend that there is that giant hole in the world in both here and the Soul Dead Canyon? So I'm trying to weigh the options is how I would do this, because now you're talking about intermodal here. So you've got City of Industry, which I really haven't taken. I've taken a look at the one. I haven't really taken a look at East LA. I do have spawn points out of East LA Yard, so I could potentially use at least those. I do have spawn points out of Pico Rivera, which isn't too far away. Let me take a look at that. So if I want to, because there is no spawn point in City of Industry, but if I was to do Pico Rivera, which there's spawn points in the siding, I believe there's a spawn point right here. If I'm to actually let me just I'm gonna go. Yeah, I want to head over. I think I just turned it on, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out in a minute. Doesn't show you that Y at San Gabriel. But I believe that is the whatchamacallit track. Yeah, DT Junction. It's kind of neat how that works, actually, now that I think about it. Because I do want to get it all. Hello, why isn't this working? Oh, that's why. That's what I wanted. Okay. And then Los Nitos has this little area here, and then that's it. Which is kind of strange how it does that. Why does it do that anyways? Is there? I guess it's because there's a big curve and there's a lot of people here. I don't know. So that's where the connection to DT Junction is. Okay. Well, that makes things kind of interesting too for UP traffic to come in. Again, I haven't really focused too much on, you know, beyond that. Okay, so San Gabriel, we're going that way. Wow. Takes a while to get down there too. Which makes it kind of inviting. So there's City of Industry. Okay, what is that? Anyways, I'm just... Oh, okay, now I get it. So this is the... This is the whatchamacallit sub. I think. Oh, Walnut and Ponema. Okay, all right. So that's where that comes in. You look at this and it's just like it's like always out of whack, and I'm like, okay. just fly back over. So that's the Alhambra. Okay, so that's why they're so parallel and close together and all that other wonderful stuff. All right, let me take a look at City of Industry one more time. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm still trying to get my mind wrapped up on this whole UP thing. Not gonna be running tonight. I'm just basically trying. Okay, so there's industry comes in. Which has this huge yard. So that's where they decided to do the big one, basically, right there. Okay. Manual switches. So really, City of Industry can be accessed well, it's easy. I guess it's easier to access it that way. It's not, it's difficult from a dispatching point of view to try to access that yard because there's really not a control point that leads you into it. It's not as clean as it's not as clean as Hobart, let's say. I mean, yeah, you gotta flick some switches, but once you've set it up, it's just a matter of eventually setting up the signals and away you go. Here you can't do that because you got manual switches everywhere. Or do you? Okay, I'm confused. Say what? Oh, yeah, no, okay. Hang on a second. I brain fart, I guess. Okay, so we do have at least one. And they come out the other way. Which makes it very, very impossible. Oh, man. You know, had they... Ooh. Nah, it wouldn't matter. I was gonna say, if there was a big one, and that track was gone, and they lost their main line, if I was to put a temporary track, I'd tie it in right here. And I don't know if you can or not. Well, they do have something. I guess that explains it, right? That would be it right there. So City of Industry comes in, right? The only problem is you got you're back to manual switches over on this side. And I don't think there's any... No. You're back into manual switches to get to a double track, whatever the hell that is. I don't even know what. Where is it? I can't even read those things from here. Industry? Oh, okay, here it is right here. Blah. No. It's just, I can barely read that when it's all together like that. Okay. Ugh. I swear. It's all... Stop. What the hell? Cranes only. Okay, cool. Those are nice cranes. Or, no. Never mind. Why do they stop the cranes there? Because there's a road? I'm confused. Yeah, whatever. I'm tired. Guess I don't know what the hell that is. It looks like a road, but I can't tell. Yeah, I know you're stopped for a signal. You ain't going anywhere. Ugh. I'm not sure what to do in this case. Here. Not you. That one. No. I don't track bulletins either. Okay, so blah is what I got to say. Do I have any other spawn points that I'm missing? Yeah, I know about that. Streeter is useless. It's all that does is generate traffic. From an operation standpoint, it's absolutely useless. If you had the ability to have a despawner and then a respawner, if that makes sense. In other words, if you really wanted to do that connection, this is the same thing I found with Waycross. And mind you, it's not as much more minor compared to this, but the Brunswick sub. You can also look at NS's line, I think, although I believe NS I think it's totally connected all the way through. You can run an NS train from one end to the other. I'm not sure. I'm thinking of Florida. But anyways, NS aside, NS is no big deal because you can't operate anyways. But Brunswick sub you can operate, and when you get to the other side, you kind of have a different spawn point. Now I understand scope and all that other stuff, so I get that. At some point, you got to say, okay, this is all spider web. I got to stop making a route and make some money. So that makes sense. But Streeter is useless. It's absolutely useless to have a spawn point there, as far as I'm concerned. Like, what are you going to do it for? Pico Rivera's fine. It does make... See, Pico Rivera's fine because what that does is that at least simulates, if you wanted to simulate the traffic. Now, from a connection standpoint, if you're running a big route with various routes all attached, you would never use Pico Rivera. In fact, you would never use any of it. It almost becomes, instead of a main line, it just becomes a stub line to City of Industry and the industries. I mean, you get caught. You're basically in a giant industrial area where you have you've got the UP line to San Gabriel there. At DT Junction comes around the Los Nitos, and then boom, that's it. know, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. Why does it say CP Hobart main 2, 3, and 4 only? It's actually 1, 2, and 3, isn't it? I just realized that. Unless I'm missing out something. Unless they call it. Yeah, whatever. Who am I to say? But, okay, so there's your Hobart balloon track, which is way the hell over here. Which is right here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, I mean, the yard is there. For East LA has a spawn. I know East LA has a spawn point. So that at least gives you something. If you just want to spawn stuff out of it. I believe there was the RIP. Well, no, one of them has. I don't think LA UTC has one though. Let me see here. I doubt it. East Hobart's got a bunch of them, and of course that's the one I'm using. So, yeah, East LA has one. So, in theory, I could spawn... What the hell would I spawn there? Okay, I don't see anything else that would be used for... No. Okay. So in theory, I could spawn intermodals coming out of City of Industry. I could spawn them at Pico Rivera. And then if I wanted to bring an intermodal train in, then where are you? You're over here somewhere, aren't you? How's the signals work here? Haven't checked them out really. Okay, you get a restricting anyways. That's what I wanted to make sure. Yeah, because otherwise you're running off the main. So anything that's coming down here, I can just, you know, whatever. So if a train is to spawn out of City of Industry, I could actually spawn it out of Pico Rivera. If one's to spawn out of LA, I could spawn it there. I don't necessarily have to play around with these yards yet. The whole purpose of adding UP into the mix is only to facilitate more traffic. I mean, that's really the only purpose why I'm even considering it. Is to make traffic show up, basically. So everything has got to come through here, out that way. So if it's heading to the wherever the hell it's heading, it doesn't matter. It's not coming down here. It's going to go that way, unless it has a reason to go that way. Which I haven't really seen a reason to go that way, unless there's something else I'm missing. Let's see here. Oh, that's the corridor. See, they don't even have. You see, they don't have anything coming out of. Yeah, they got it totally dashed off as if nothing goes that way at all. Everything comes out the other way, so I don't even know what other purpose there is. I thought maybe it would, you know, head somewhere along the coast or something if they had freight travel, but I guess not. I don't know. Okay. So I can spot. Yeah, that's not too bad. Like if I look at City of Industry, okay, and I bring something in. Now I don't have the rip traffic like I do of the other place. Do I have something else that I can? See, they always put the tracks that way where I need them to go the other way. Just give me a track where I can throw the damn thing. Okay. And I don't want to bring it off the Alhambra side because that's just going to make a freaking mess. Where do I want to bring it where I can kill it? Fortunately, I don't have a place. Unless I was to bring it right into this yard, maybe there's something down here. No, of course not. No, I would have to have them. I'd have to come back over here and basically delete the trains because they would no longer be on the CTC. It's a nice looking yard, don't get me wrong. It's just manpower wise, it's too much for me personally. And again, everything has to be at least to a point of getting, you know, what I can do. Now, let's see what the distance is. I'm curious what the distance is with Pico Rivera and City of Industry. Because obviously I'm trying to spawn a train. If I'm trying to spawn a train out of Pico Rivera, which might be a long ways away by the looks of it. I don't know why they got Pico Rivera for anyways. Why is that in there? I'm not even too sure why it's in there, to be honest. I mean, it's like in the middle of nowhere, really. I don't know. If I was going to have a spawn point, I would have it here. If I was trying to simulate that, or put a train in City of Industry itself. But maybe the siding's too long. I don't know. What else we got going on here? Man, that's a long ways to go. Jeez. Like I said before, it seems sometimes. Yeah, we're all the way to San Gabriel. That's all we're at. Wow. It's basically all I'm doing. There's no traffic going in that direction. The Y's here. Which this always confuses the hell out of me when it wraps around like that. So yeah, it comes down this way. So it's basically back here, and then boom, and then blah. And San Gabriel's actually heading. This is heading westward. So I won't go back down there again. Did I go down the wrong track? No, I didn't. Or did I? I probably did, but maybe not. Unless that's Pico Rivera right there. Which it could be. It's possible. Yeah. So the Pico Rivera siding, which... God. I mean, it's a nice long track and all, but now what's happened is the Y, which of course is twisted this way around because it's coming that way. The Y is actually in this track. So if you actually had an industry switcher and then suddenly a train spawns up, it's kind of stupid. I don't know. I don't get that. I wish they had spawn areas. I understand that that they're trying to do not so much spawn areas, but if they create stuff like that and you want to have spawn points at the end, have it over here. Like, I don't know why they couldn't extend that just a little bit more, even if it didn't make any sense, because a lot of this doesn't make any sense anyways. Bring it a full train length, just like you, and boom, there you go. You could spawn every train. You have every train coming in. Doesn't have to go inside the City of Industry yard. It can just go off the line and boom, that's it. Or have them delete their trains or who knows what. But anyways. So yeah, I'm just curious now what it looks like when we come around this way. Like, we haven't even touched these industries yet. The thing is so freaking huge. So that is LA, because it says so right there. So if I was to spawn a train in East LA, which I don't know if I have a train, but let's pretend I do for a second. Okay, where does it spawn it? Oh, it doesn't do it doesn't do what I think it does it? It looks like a manifest train. Okay, good. I was afraid it was spawning it the other way. I was like, oh no, it can't be doing it. Okay. So good. East LA does spawn out of the yard. It gives us a chance to line it up to signals and do whatever it is that we have to do. So that's fine. And then coming into the yard, if there was a train that was bound for East LA, looks like you might be SOL. Just curious. Ah. Remember to put UP. I had a funny feeling it was going to be BNSF. I just had a weird feeling, but anyways. Okay, so we got no stubs going the other way, which is fine. Of course, we always have the stub going the one way, and where it's not needed. Of course, I'm not saying that that's the way. We want it realistic too. Well, that's it. No, that's just an industry. Forget it. Yeah. Okay. So no stubs going the other way, but we do have spawns, so that's at least a good start. But we don't have anything here, unfortunately. So yeah, that's interesting. Now that's got the rip track. At least I can terminate it if I wanted to. I'm I'm having I got to think about this for a little while. I think still. I don't want to rush to any conclusions, even though I do have most of the information I need. It's not a question that I don't have information. I do. It's a question of how do I want to handle it. So, if I was to use, say, for example, this is the RTS version. I can see here, mind you, my list is not as inclusive either. But then again, nobody else's seems to be either. So you got Long Beach. I don't know what GS is. What is that? Did I miss something? Oh, okay. I guess that's a Long Beach one too. See, they got LC in the Oneida corridor, isn't it? There, it isn't. It's it even said so on one of their sites. I saw it. That isn't. That's not. LC is LATC, which is, if I understand, is that. So it's not. It doesn't come around to Long Beach. It actually. I mean, I could just as easily spawn a train out of Alameda Corridor. I could even go so far as to spawn a train out of East LA to kind of represent it, I guess. Or I could pretend LATC is just going to use the corridor, which, you know, may or may not make any sense, I suppose. They don't seem to have that many trains though, so I don't want to. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. In this case, I'm looking at the symbols that I have now. This is coming out of the ones that I have. What the hell's ML? That's another one. Man, I got a lot of extra. There's some other Fresno here and all that other stuff. West Colton I don't have to worry about. Then again, I don't have anything really set for West Colton coming down unless they're locals, but I have no idea. WB, what was the other one? I saw one. ML. What is that? North Platte to ML. Mariloma. I've researched that. ML, Mariloma. I've researched it, and for the life of me, I can't remember where that is. No. I think it's in the. Hold on a second here. Yeah, I was looking at this the other day. I knew that sounded familiar. Mariloma is the auto plant that's in there. It's this thing here. Yeah, we've definitely been here. Because there was another yard that was in the area too that we were looking at, but so that's part of the Mariloma is actually part of the whole um, whatever it is you want to call it. It's where the big one, I guess, would be between whatever and whatever here, because that's the line that comes down to Riverside. Let me see if I can make sure of that. I'm having a hard time making sure of anything. Wow, oh yeah, it goes right underground, huh? Or does it? That ain't underground. Okay. Alright, excuse me. Where does it come out? It comes out over there. I can't even see these damn lines. Uh-huh. Okay. Now I get you. So we're talking about that yard that was in Mariloma. Well, there it is. Even though it's showing it over there, that's Mariloma, that yard or whatever the hell it is. Uh-oh. I get lost when I see the streets like that. Ugh. The color coding on this is so horrible. Like it's like it looks like a freaking gray. Okay, I'll do it that way. What kind of freaking line is this, anyways? Oh, Riverside. Okay, gotcha. So somewhere in there, that's the line that comes into Riverside, and boom. Alright, fair enough. And then once it gets up here, they basically go side by side for the longest time. Or wherever the hell they do that from, which is, I guess, right there. Yep. Wow, do they ever, huh? City of Industry, and then yeah, that's where oh boy, I'm not sure if I'm prepared to add any trains tonight. I know because we were talking about directional, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, the problem we got is we're getting too many calls for trains 1 and 21. So if I look at the probability, where is it? No, that's Atwood. That's okay. Probability is at 0.4. So it's supposed to be divided by 5. Yeah, that's right. So 2 passengers divided by 5 give me 0.4. But Yuma still keeps on pumping out the trains that way for some reason. Let me see this for a second. Yeah, see, it's at 0.4. So despite the fact that these ones are up there at much higher ratios, it still keeps on giving that to me. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose, being at 10%, but I don't have that many. Five trains, I guess it would be. I don't know. So, but yeah, if you guys who are running, especially you guys who are running, I'm more curious as to what you guys are thinking. I know I'm not watching the chat right now, and I think at this point I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I could add trains. I could get into the manifest kind of thing and all that other stuff. But this night was kind of shot as it was because I wasn't expecting to have this much time on my hands, to be honest. So I'm gonna rethink things. I gotta give this more thought. I'm not prepared to jump in and just start throwing trains on Yuma sub and then try to figure out how to do the intermodals because I honestly I didn't think about it, but then I was just like, oh yeah, there's a lot of traffic. I'm going to presume this is going to be the danger too. Whenever you call a train out of here, you are going to be in the danger or the risk of spawning a UP train. And if you do, we're gonna be routing you up there, and the only thing that's gonna come to affect you is 1 or 21. Now we've been getting calls for it lately. As far as UP trains coming in, most of the UP trains, and I mean I do have some that are coming in. What I may do. Let me think about this for a second here. Again, this is just me thinking as far as what is or isn't the real connection. Yeah, Alameda Corridor is really weird because I'm thinking of the trains that come into Long Beach, and whether it's right hand running or left hand running, what the hell does that do? I mean, this actually would drive me nuts because you got both BNSF and UP, and we got a single. Oh no, there's a crossover here. Okay, sorry. I didn't see that. Okay, so we're fine there. Never mind. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was looking at that, man. I was just like, it was driving me nuts. I was like, how the hell does it cross over from one to the other? And there it is right there. There's a signal man, that signal's weird. Because there's no signal coming into it, I guess. How the hell does it do that? Let me see that for a minute. Okay. So Salto Street Junction. I always get confused here. Alright, let's go this way. How about we go this way here? Ah, yeah, okay. Perfect. Got a train there. That makes it even easier. Okay, SPJ yard, whatever that is. That's crazy seeing trains under there. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's crazy. No, I don't like running from there. I gotta fly. Definitely gotta fly. Okay, let me just see if what the hell this junction looks like from. Well, that's the end of the train. Wow. So I could just as easily run a Global 2 train that way. As if it was... no, that would be the other way around. So, yeah. If I was doing a directional running, I would probably... well, hold on. Okay, so there is, so everything is controlled from the signal entering it. So in the case of Soto Junction here, I would, well, this one shouldn't give me a light at all. No. If I cross it, it should. Yes, it does. Okay. It gives me a solid green too. What does that give me? Oh, funky. Yeah, I figured that would drop it. No, give me a light. It's interesting sometimes that signal will drop. Okay. Fair enough, and I imagine the other way would work the same. Fair enough. Okay, let me just think about this for a few minutes before I end it on an unknown, basically. So right now, the way it stands, we have both UP and BNSF, just like this UP was spawning. If this had been the way we have been running, we've been running everything down the Alhambra. Which is fine because really I got nothing coming this way anyways, and it's kind of directional, but I really don't have the traffic yet going the opposite way. So that's an issue. For me it is anyways, but it's not really an issue because in real life it wouldn't be an issue anyways, if that makes sense. I could, in theory, run it down this way as if it was going to connect, or I could run it this way as if it was going to connect. Well, actually no, it would connect in this way. So either way, if it was, let's say this is directional and everything is coming this way down the Alhambra for the most part. If this was directional, a lot of this would be heading this way or that way. If it was heading north, it would go this way. It would head up to Vincent, it would head Soledad Canyon, head north, and then, you know, basically plop on the Mojave sub, Palmdale, via Vincent. If it was heading east, then of course it would come down. It would go that way, and it would connect. It would actually connect over here at Streeter or at Riverside, and then continue on. Now this to me looks more in line. If I was to do left-hand running, that would make sense anyways, but because of just the way everything is set up, I'm not sure adding more work to my workload is probably not the best thing I should be doing. Because the way the formulas work is if I add more trains, that means the frequency of trains is going to go up. That could work. That could not only can that work against me, but it could get me into some pretty big jams. And I've already found some issues, or not some issues, but I've already found a difficult situation at times at Hobart based on the traffic's coming in. I haven't been able to clear the backlog totally, and I'm still playing around with power. So my original synopsis of not worrying too much about UP still stands. And I'd love to do it, but UP is fragmented and to me is an afterthought anyways. This is all about BNSF. I mean, yeah, you got the junctions and you got all the other fun stuff. If I was to do anything, I mean, yeah, I could bring intermodals in, and I can. It just, I mean, I can run them all to Long Beach for that matter. Really, I don't even have to run them per se to the various locations. Like for example, Hobart Yard, I could, I could have, or it's not Hobart Yard, East LA. I can have them come into East LA, and then terminate themselves, or spawn. Have the spawn points at East LA or whatever. Ditto with City of Industry. I can do that. That's not a big deal. It's that when you're adding more complexity to the dispatching that needs to be done, I don't think this is the right time to do it. At least not yet, because we still haven't done anything with the industries yet. There's a whole whack of. Think of it this way, and this is where I begin to really be careful as far as the scope of what I'm doing. I mean, I could easily take away the UP trains if that makes it easier. The only reason why I put them in there was to make it kind of interesting anyways, coming out of. That's the other thing I could do. If I really wanted to make it, I could just basically have the Long Beach trains come out. I think that was my original intent anyways. But it didn't, I don't know, it just didn't seem to work that way or something. I don't know. But, got Atwood Junction. That finally decided to spawn. San Diego Clo. But, yeah, it's a really difficult thing to do. Again, like I said, without AI dispatching and without relying too heavily on a lot of manpower that are constantly being able to do stuff. And I know there's people that have shown some interest in dispatching. That's great, or even doing some hostling and stuff like that. That's great too. Until I get a handle of things, I have to be able to know that I can do it on my own. And I don't want to spend more time testing on my own either. So I want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to run the line. Unfortunately, the majority of it is going to be San Bernardino because, well, look at this. I mean, you got this line here that still has issues. It's not 100. It's kind of a mismatch, prototypical and proto-lands basically. This area is nice, as is this. I mean, it's nice to have the it's nice to have the Amtrak's in. At least we got the Amtrak's in. We don't have Metrolink, obviously, but it's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, even that would change the dynamics, but then again, without schedules, it doesn't really matter anyways, because um, you know, there's a lot of dynamics that could change. I think there's just seeing the meets the other day. You know, one coming with the stuff we were going on at Atwood Junction, kind of makes me think that there's enough interest right now, or at least complexity of interest. What I should have been doing was focusing on the manifest and then seeing about, but I haven't seen too much interest in running yards just yet. I've seen a little bit, but I haven't seen as much, so I'm not too worried about that until I personally get a handle of Hobart, and I'm almost on top of that now, and hopefully I'm going to continue that, and if I do, then I'll be encouraged to try and push for other things. But what I want to do ultimately is I want Hobart, and I want to be able to at least not only set off, but be able to have the lac bar and the Barlac trains work. Once those are in, then we've got all the industries for BNSF. There will be more industries probably than people have time for, quite frankly, including myself. So I'm not too worried about not using this. Hell, I wasn't doing it in Mojave Sub to begin with anyways, so it's not like I have not done this before. I have, and I would love to use all the routes. I'd love to use different routes, the connecting routes. I would love to be back in Florida again. There's a lot of things I'd love to do. Unfortunately, I have to make decisions. And if I'm all over the place doing different things, well, you know, that kind of, I don't know how that works. I'm more than open to have these discussions. Unfortunately, what I find is these discussions aren't really taking place. You know, I'll get the odd YouTube comment every now and then. I'll get the odd forum post now and then, but we're not really having a discussion about what it is that people are looking for. So, in that essence, I'm not too worried about if I'm going to get this train and you want to spawn it. I mean, that's the train you're going to get. You're playing roulette, and I don't know how that little spawn system works. I don't even think you can go into detail. So if you want to spawn a train out of there, that's what you're going to get, unfortunately. The other place you can spawn there, you can spawn if you spawn a passenger out of here, you ain't going to get much. You can certainly spawn a passenger out of Union. That'll give you your eastbound travel if you're looking for an eastbound passenger train. But then again, maybe you're not too worried about the taking the Alhambra with little to no traffic. I don't know. My concern with that is, you know, you can do that in single player. Are you interested in the traffic, or do you just not worried about it, or whatever? For me personally, I would be wanting to see the traffic. It's always a decision factor for what I do. If I was to run on a server or run trains, I want to be running in 100% traffic, and unfortunately, that ain't it. It is on BNSF, but on the UP side, I don't even know how to begin without making it very complicated and extra work. And like I said before, if you push for directional running, then it doesn't really matter anyways, because then, okay, if we push for directional running, well, what have we just accomplished? We could have a couple passengers that might be able to do overtakes, but what have we accomplished? I don't even know. Was there areas there where the lines are close enough that they can see? I thought there was, actually. Let me just take a look at that for a minute. There is at City of Industry. I want to see for how long this happens. So City of Industry, then it dies off, right? Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong one. Okay, gotcha. So City of Industry is where it dies off and goes into the void. Okay. Man, we could have had a trade there easily. Spot out there. But anyways, digress. Okay, so that goes this way. Now, see, it does it. Okay, he avoided it. He avoided the duplicate track. Despite the fact that it would have been directional, he avoided it. Because now, see, they're off on their own, doing their thing, and they don't come back around again. It's right around here. Yep. Okay. Okay, so Hobart, but that's between BNSF and UP, which really doesn't matter in this case. Then by the time it heads out that way, they parallel each other that way more on this side for the most part. Oh yeah, curves off. Well, that's the line over that comes across from San Gabriel. I'm just trying to get the geography sense of everything here. Yeah, there, I can see the line now. So yeah, as soon as it's just about to get back to parallel, that's when he cut it off. Because it's basically, as he was saying in the notes, redundant traffic. Or redundant, yeah, redundant track. So you run it directional, which it makes sense. But from a visual standpoint, this is why he's got this. So, although it creates more traffic, I'm just trying to think now. Okay, if it creates more traffic this way, one, I have to deal with single track. I have to deal with more single track railroad not only would I have to deal with that single track railroad, but I've already started dealing with Goosty or Gosty or whatever, because this is the only place I can get the damn train to come off. I tried to do it at the team track, but it wouldn't allow me, which kind of sucks. I hate it because I want to be able. I wish there was a place you could despawn it without having to force it down a track. That would solve so many issues for trying to simulate an AI environment. The AI itself, like I said, the AI itself works fine. A lot of people have said that. The AI works fine. I can see some improvements in it, but it works fine. I got no issues with that. It's how things are spawned and the ability to get rid of it so that I can continue to focus on whatever it is I'm doing while I'm doing things. And I know some people out there, they just like, okay, well, we'll just spawn a train. Whenever I'll just spawn trains as I'm running this way, and I'll see a bunch of trains come this way. That just becomes eye candy. And I mean, eye candy's great and all, and I'm concerned about what people see in eye candy, but at the same time, I want it functional. I want it to make sense. Hobart, to me, right now, for the most part, is pretty legit. I mean, it's not perfect. We're not doing brake checks. We're not doing inspections, all that other stuff that we should be doing. But then again, the way I take that as an okay to do is because it's just me. So if it's just me and then I'm out rail fanning and doing other things, well, somebody or another bunch of people would have already been doing it. So I'm okay with that. I'm up for the challenge of being able to just turn the trains at Hobart and keep the traffic going. That for me is a challenge. Yeah, it's one of those things. And if I start splitting up traffic on UP, I mean, there's a couple things that can happen. UP can all of a sudden get a lot of traffic. BNSF could get a lot of traffic. And right now, without the schedule system, it's just like you don't know what you're going to get. You really don't. You can get all kinds of odd things and stuff. And like I said, you get traffic spawning out of this thing, which is a crazy spot for it, considering. So I can't even use that. As I said before, if I was going to use this as an outflow main line, if it was directional, I would just run it. I would probably run it in this direction, considering most of it's, a lot of it's spawning in this direction already, so I don't know what to take. I mean, the only ones I would spawn in this direction would probably be the passenger, and the passengers are going to go both directions here regardless. So, yeah, a lot to take in. And I got to think about it. But then again, like I said, if I don't hear complaints and if I don't hear people coming up with suggestions or concerns, I mean, the bottom line is this. There's going to be trains for you to run, whether it be coming out of the west side or east side. I can try to hold off Alameda eastbound traffic that goes to BNSF at least, or maybe I won't even worry about that. You could still spawn in a lot of other different areas. Like if you're looking for an Amtrak, you can spawn Union. You got the eastbound coming out of Atwood, which will give you a little bit of a smaller run. Amtrak goes westbound. So there is other spawn points. I just don't know. At some point, I don't know how interesting it's going to be. And judging by the numbers, I don't think it's that interesting. That's my only concern. I suppose I'm concerning too much about what other people are, and all that other stuff. And I should just do my own thing, I suppose. But at the same time, I do want to make it interesting for others too, as much as I can. So I guess that's why I'm kind of debating as to what it is I want to do, if anything. I I mean, locals, that ain't going to be a problem. We're going to be able to do that. I just haven't had the demand, so I haven't really felt the urgency to do it. And considering Hobart has been my focus for a little bit, I'm still focused there. And eventually I will give up Hobart. I will be willing to give it up if people are interested. I'm just not ready yet. I wanna really get an idea as to how things are flowing in that yard, and trying to get ahead of the things and seeing if I can stay ahead for a little while. So it's going to be a while before I give it up. So for now, it's just going to be dispatching in Hobart for me pretty much every time. And dispatching is a little bit more tricky with this. I mean, it is easy, but it's also tricky in some situations, especially when you're dealing with the Amtraks and all the other stuff. But anyways. And I know, like, I don't want to discourage dispatchers either, so yeah, there's a lot of things kind of weighing on me, and I don't want that to weigh on me. So anyways, that's it for now. I'm going to end while I'm still kind of ahead. I'll think about this, but I'm always open on the forums if you guys have, especially if you're running. I want the people who are running or considering running to let me know what it is that appeals to them. And no, I'm not getting away from LA. I'm not going to go back to something else. I can't keep bouncing around all over the place. I got to make this thing work for a while. And so far, I mean, LA has a lot of potential. There's things that I wish the program had that just it doesn't have right now, unfortunately. But, you know, we're playing with what we got for now. So that's it for now. I've yapped way too long. 9:45, Jesus Murphy. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. So have a good one, and we will talk to you on the other side. Have a good one. See ya.